Hello. Okay. I think we're live. This is kind of a scattered topic video, I guess. I was watching another video, as I often do, and they were more showing, what they've done in their own personal house space. There was watching another one where they show like Pinterest pictures or Better Homes and Gardens pictures or wherever they find these pictures. Obviously, I don't show a lot of here's me remodeling my bed or whatever kind of stuff. So I guess this be in two parts, but they're semi-related. So the first part was the woman says she likes, sketches, black and white drawings. But then she sees one in an antique store and says, "Oh, this is $200. I would never pay that much. It's overpriced." I thought it was a better drawing than a sketch. In art terms, there's kind of a level of formality. A true sketch is a very fast, very usually small thing. This was not a sketch. This was a decent sized, drawing, but it wasn't necessarily, but it was an ink drawing. So it wasn't a pencil drawing. So you have less shading maybe, but it still took, time and effort, even if for that artist, it was just a preliminary sketch from which they were going to do a painting later, maybe. So I was kind of insulted, they called it a sketch at the store. They put sketch on the frame. I don't know if they knew the artist or it was an heirloom, but you wouldn't pay $200 for it, even though it obviously maybe, probably took more time and skill than a typical sketch. And on top of that, it was framed in a proper glass frame, which costs nowadays, at least $30 or something. If you buy a frame for a print, like, I don't have any prints lying around. I mean, those posters behind me, not quite the same thing. I have prints on the other wall that you can't see. I mean, I could frame something like this, and you wouldn't necessarily know the difference. I might frame this for fun, just because it kind of goes with the nautical motif, but that's not art in the conventional sense, right? I had seen a lot of these kind of interior photos where the people have taken, maybe them or a relative or a friend or whatever has taken some art class and they came out with one kind of halfway decent drawing. So they framed it and used that in a space, probably until they, grow out of it or can afford something else, maybe. Overall, I still prefer a painting to a black and white sketch. But if you say this is your style, then why are you balking at the price? Especially if you don't have the skill to create your own. And so, funny enough, just a week ago, I was at Hobby Lobby getting some things framed, which would be a better topic for an art video instead of the home design video that I might do later. But I was, talking to the guy at the Hobby Lobby, and I was explaining, I'm not really in competition with Picasso or somebody. I'm basically in competition with Walmart, because like literally at, Hobby Lobby, I can get this. This was half price, so it was $10, and it looks, like a painty. I don't know if it's done by a machine or by, some guy who does this same thing all day, every day, almost like a paint by numbers, but the frame is plastic. This is not wood. It looks like wood, and I'm not gonna say this is, automatically bad because it fills that function. I can put that on my wall for $10 and, from a distance, you'll never know. Right. And same with this little pirate chest. I got this. I forget what this was. I don't even know if this is real wood, if it's plastic, the wood veneer. It's got actual metal on the corners. The bottom of it feels a little bit wimpy to put anything too heavy in it, unlike a real pirate chest. You know, some plywood bit of thing. So yeah, this skin might be wood on the top. But you know, but it's fine, right? It's fine for what it's, you know, good for, like neckties or something not too heavy, right? I got another one that looks more like a summer camp chest that I didn't bring in. It's bigger and I already have it full of neckties because I decided, okay, well, I'll spend this $30 or whatever and not have them in a cardboard box, and I still ran out of space and have some still in the cardboard box, right? But it got me to thinking, and well, on the subject of framing, before like some of the frames they had were the wrong size. Like this one was the wrong size, but I was able to get my neighbor to cut it down and reattach at the corners on the one end. And this was actually decent looking compared to some of their other stuff. This is an actual real wood, but no hardware. You know, I'll have to figure out how to mount the thing and hang the thing and whatnot when I get to that point. I think I posted that picture of the dog. So they had this cut to the same size as the picture of the dog with painting, which is not done. It's too hot to paint right now, so maybe I'll do some drawings. But I might not use that painting in it forever, or, you know, whatever. I might change my mind. I have other canvases that size. So I found 2 frames there that were the wrong size. And like I said, I was lucky to get the neighbor with the miter saw or whatever it's called, and did me a solid. You know, so yeah, I used to always go to Michael's, and lately I've been finding less stuff there. Hobby Lobby had a little bit more stuff of certain kind of things, or certain things I didn't know that they had. I mean, when I saw the name Hobby, I assumed it was all model airplanes kind of place, and I didn't realize how big it was and how much actual home decor stuff. So maybe I'm a little late to the game, but since I'm not trying to collect knickknacks, I'm trying to collect, you know, stuff that's dual purpose more. But of course, today I would love to be cleaning and stuff right now, but I got sidetracked even before I, you know, got onto this video tangent. And, you know, and like I said, talking to the Hobby Lobby guy while he was framing some things for me that weren't there, you know, pre-framed things. One of the things that kind of struck, and in the next room, right before I started trying to record this, that kind of half dresser thing I have with the hanging shirts that's in the thumbnail of one of my old minimalist videos or whatever it was, or office casual, or what, I forget. One of the ones that only like 6 of you watched or whatever anyway. And less of you will probably watch this, so who cares? But that's already malfunctioning after only 2 years. Like it's totally sagging away from the wall all of a sudden for no apparent reason. So I don't know if I can find a way to anchor that or where I'm going to put the stuff that's in it. So fun. So so I won't have much of a before and after picture for there. But a thing like that is really designed for, you know, if you're having a fashion show at the beach and you need something you can throw up. It's not meant to be a permanent furniture item that you keep 20 shirts in for more than, you know, 6 months at a time or whatever. So obviously I might have gotten more use out of it than it was meant to, but the thing still cost me, it was like $80 or more, I forget. So I was a little disappointed to go in there right now and see. Now I have another project that I have to do before I can do my 3 other projects that I want to do. But one of the things I want to do is kind of clean up some of my clutter areas that are here. The problem is I don't have like junk drawers and stuff to put this stuff. You know, the new furniture doesn't come with the same kind of cubbies as the old furniture. Like my old desk had 6 drawers and then a drawer, a narrow drawer. but it was the wrong height for a typewriter. It was okay for a typewriter, but it was really the wrong height for a computer because the screen and the keyboard being on two levels, it wouldn't function. And I still regret that I got rid of that desk because it was a really nice size writing desk. I just had nowhere to put it. I still have, no idea where I would put it if I had it now. But it had paper drawers that computer desks just don't really have typically. And it's not just paper. Like when I was a kid in the one house, we had a junk drawer, but there wasn't much in it. But we didn't have that much stuff. We had like one stapler, right? And you'd be lucky if you had like a roll of tape, and it wasn't even the clear tape, the invisible tape. It'd be the other tape that was horrible. And so, finally we started getting the clear tape. But the problem is what happened in the 90s when all of a sudden we had this stuff easy to reach. The problem is you're not getting one of them. You're getting them in a pack of like 5 or something. So where are you putting this one and this one, while you're still using this one? So a lot of times, now or since then or whatever, I got in the habit of always squirreling one away in my bedroom so that if the one for the household got lost or messed up or abused or whatever, I would always have at least one. Now I don't really need to worry about that as much as, when I was in college. And yet I still have that tendency. So I still have this ugly thing in my bedroom on a bookshelf or something because I don't have a junk drawer in my bedroom that's suitable for office supplies. But I'm still, at least I know there's office supply in my bedroom. And same with these things, right? These just started magically appearing around my house around the same time, around 1990 or whatever. And I had no idea what they were at first. And I don't know if my mom bought like a ton of them all at once because she thought she would need them, same as, packing tape and scotch tape and that kind of thing. Or if she would like lose them, not realize, and then buy more. Because for some reason I have like way more of these than any normal household would ever need. Even I do art, I still only need like 2 or 3 of these typically in a year to hold a picture to a drawing board or something. And yet there's 3 of them alone in this room, that one is holding a business card and these 2 are just here. And again, because I like to squirrel things away to the other room just so I don't have to go out to the art area to look for these things, even though now my art area is not. Well, again, back when I was a teenager, my art area and my bedroom were all just one room. I never thought to do art in a living room or anything like that. So whatever I needed was kind of contained in that area. And then when I got older, I was able to expand out into a separate kind of studio space. Sorry about the clatter. But then also stuff like this, I don't use a typewriter anymore, but for nostalgia's sake, I still have, no reason to throw that away, right? It might still be good and not completely solid in the container. This isn't even the original. This is something, I didn't buy this. This just appeared somewhere along the line. But this kind of thing, yeah, I also have this, the wrong kind of tape. Also a nostalgia item. But stuff like this is when, I just need a quick fix, right? Then just grab that. It's a Band-Aid. It doesn't have to look nice and whatever. So yeah, trying to turn the newer furniture into useful cubbyhole furniture. I don't know. I wish I had an easy answer or a quick solution or something like that. Like I said, I wish I knew how to, explain what, one overarching, like how to solve your paper clutter if you're old fashioned and still use paper and don't just type everything on your phone and hope that that data never gets obliterated, right? I prefer using hand notes and then the finished product rather than digitized notes to the finished product, I guess. I've tried using the digitized notes. The problem is the word searches are never accurate enough for what I want to zoom in on. So I'm usually still scrolling for way too long and whereas the scraps of paper get lost and whatnot. But usually by the time they get lost, I didn't need them anymore anyway, And 5 years from now, I come across it and wonder what was this? And then sometimes I remember and jot it down on a new paper with some other relevant things, or most of the time I throw it away finally after, maybe not 5 years, usually less, but after a while, like, whoa, why do I still have these stupid papers? But again, papers, they're a nuisance, but they don't take up as much space when you stack them as they could, right? It's just then finding that one paper and all that. But I have the same problem with the Word documents thing. It's like, oh, the titles made sense at the time, but finding that one paragraph under which title, and again, trying to rethink of the key words that might bring that particular passage to the top, like maybe, good luck. Because a lot of phraseology is redundant and what kind of thing, but that's not really about art or decor, but just the digital age versus, well, I mean, that's kind of what this is arguing about, right? Like I said, the old writing desk versus the computer desk. I'm stuck with the computer desk, whether I like it or not, whether it's aesthetic or not. It's not on camera for a reason. This other kind of mediocre furniture is what's on camera instead, because it's just modular and it looks like it looks or whatever. So yeah, like I said, this is literally just kind of a weird rant about stuff, but again, we're trying to declutter, not just as a joke, but still be able to get to the things we need, because again, a stack of paper is harder to find a thing than a few smaller stacks of paper, right? So yay. And 3-ring binders and that kind of thing can make it easier to compartmentalize as we go, but it depends on the type of the thing, the quality of the notes, the whatever. Like, here's a good example. This is just a list of paintings that, I want to take to a place that, might do consignment or whatever. So this is useful for a couple of weeks and then I throw it away. So yeah, it's clutter in the meantime, but it's not permanent clutter, whereas some of the other things, same thing, but written bigger, because this is what I took to Hobby Lobby to try and get the dimensions of the frames I need. So again, is it easier to take this out of my pocket than to look on my phone? I don't know. Your results may vary, but for me, this worked just fine. And now, again, something I need for a couple of weeks and will be able to throw away pretty soon. But I end up with a lot of this kind of junk, like I said, until I get a chance to go through it. So, but if I just threw it in a drawer, that would neither serve me now nor later when I open that drawer and it's just full of junky old notes that I don't need, right? So leaving them on the top of the table for now, it's not that pretty, but it's not that big of a deal, right? But a true minimalist would freak out. 2 pieces of paper? Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe you need a piece of paper attaché case or something like this that you keep your pieces of paper in. I don't know. So yeah, 20 minutes of babble, but hopefully not all totally meaningless babble. And as always, please feel free to leave questions in the comments that pretty much nobody ever does. Yeah.